We're absolutely surrounded by data. Every time you click, every purchase, every single search, it all adds up to this massive wall of noise. So, how do we turn that noise into actual smart decisions? Well, today we're diving into the revolution of data-driven decisions and how we get from raw numbers to real-world impact. Let's jump in.
And this quote, it really nails it. For ever, business was all about experience, about that gut feeling. But the explosion of big data has completely rewritten the rulebook. It's not just about having information anymore. It's about using that information to see what's coming next. So, what exactly is data-driven decision-making, or DDM? Well, think of it as a framework for swapping out those gut feelings and old habits for cold, hard evidence and analysis. And the goal is pretty simple. You want to minimize your risks and maximize every single opportunity you've got.
So here's our game plan. We're going to talk about this data revolution, then break down the actual process of turning data into decisions. After that, we'll look at some amazing real-world examples, and then we have to talk about the really crucial stuff, the ethics of it all, before we wrap up with power and responsibility. Okay, first up, why are we calling this a revolution? I mean, that sounds a little dramatic, right? Well, it's because it's a completely fundamental shift in how we solve problems. And this slide lays out the difference perfectly. On one side, you've got the old way, intuition. It's subjective, it's reactive, it's based on what happened in the past. On the other side, you have data. It's objective, proactive, and it's looking for patterns to predict the future. Honestly, it's the difference between driving while looking in your rearview mirror versus looking at a GPS map of the road ahead. Okay, but how does that transformation actually happen? Let's peel back the layers and look at the process for turning just a messy pile of data into a powerful decision-making machine. It really all boils down to these 5 key steps. You have to start with a clear objective, like what are you actually trying to do? Then you find your data sources, you collect it, and then you get to the most important step, the analysis. And finally, you act on what you learned. And this part is so crucial, you measure the results so you can do it even better next time. And really, this is where the magic happens. Raw data on its own is just chaos. It's like static on a radio. Analysis is the act of tuning that dial until you find a crystal clear signal. It's all about digging through billions of data points to find those hidden patterns that are just totally invisible to the human eye. And this is what that looks like in practice. Data visualization is absolutely essential. It turns these dense, boring spreadsheets into clear, intuitive graphics. Suddenly, a really complex trend becomes a simple line on a chart. And that means everyone in the room can understand the story the data is telling, not just the data nerds.
All right, now for the really fun part. I mean, this all sounds great in theory, but let's see how this process is actually creating billions of dollars in value and, changing our everyday lives. And just to show you how powerful this is, we're going to look at 3 totally different industries. We've got retail, entertainment, and logistics. Each of them faced a unique multi-billion-dollar problem, and they all solved it using the exact same data-driven thinking. First up, Walmart. Think about their problem. It's just a problem of massive scale. With thousands of stores, how do you possibly know what to stock where? If you order too little, you lose sales. If you order too much, you're just wasting money. Their solution? They analyze everything, from local buying habits to sports schedules and even the weather forecast, all to predict exactly what a specific store is going to need. And the impact is just huge. They've been able to dramatically cut down on waste while making sure the stuff you want is actually on the shelf when you get there. That doesn't just make for happier customers, it goes straight to their bottom line. Okay, next, let's talk Netflix. Their challenge is all about capturing and keeping your attention. I mean, in a world with a million streaming options, how do they stop you from hitting cancel? Well, the answer is in their famous recommendation engine. It analyzes everything you watch, everything you search for, everything you rate, all to predict what you're going to want to watch next. This personalized experience is their business model. It's the whole shebang. By making it almost effortless to find something you'll like, they keep you watching, they keep you subscribed, and they keep you happy. It's really a masterclass in using data to improve user experience. And finally, UPS. Theirs is a logistical nightmare on a global scale. They solved it with a pretty amazing system called Orion. It's a powerful AI that crunches just trillions of data points to figure out the absolute most efficient route for every single driver every single day, and it adjusts on the fly.
And the results here are just staggering. We're talking about massive savings in fuel, a huge reduction in their carbon footprint, and of course, faster deliveries for all of us. This is the perfect example of data creating a win for the business and a win for the planet at the same time.
But, and this is a big but, with this incredible power to predict and to optimize our world, there comes some profound responsibility. And that brings us to the whole ethical side of all this insight.
You have to ask the question, right? With all this power to predict and influence what we do, what could possibly go wrong? I mean, when companies can predict our behavior so accurately, you're opening the door to all kinds of potential problems, from privacy issues to serious algorithmic bias.
So to get this right, organizations like the Royal Statistical Society have laid out some core ethical principles, and it all kind of boils down to this. It's not enough for data to be accurate. It also has to be just. That means being transparent about how data is being used, and, maybe most important of all, always having human accountability. An algorithm can spit out a prediction, sure, but a person has to be on the hook for that final call. Always. So this brings us to our conclusion, where we have to hold both of these ideas, the incredible potential and the incredible responsibility, in our heads at the exact same time.
So what's the bottom line here? Is that data-driven decision-making isn't just a technical skill anymore. It's an ethical one. The same power that can optimize a supply chain can also be used to perpetuate bias. The only way forward is to use this incredibly powerful tool with a very deep sense of responsibility.
And that leaves us with one last really big question. As data shapes more and more of our world, who is actually responsible for making sure it's used for good? Is it the data scientists, the CEOs, the government? You know, the truth is, the answer is probably all of us. It's a conversation that we all need to be a part of. Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.